was the firstborn Son of God, first to be resurrected, the head of the church, his body, who was resurrected along with him. In our church life, dear brothers and sisters, this Christ should be number one. Every church, inland churches, I don't care what church you're in, how many saints are there in the church, make sure that in your church, Christ is number one. Christ is preeminent, even super preeminent. In everything, he is the head. In everything, he has the say. In everything, he is the Lord and King. Then I will tell you, your church life, your church will be in good order. Your church would not be in a state of collapse because you are rightly headed up by Christ. We have a vision of the preeminence of Christ. Our living and our church life will be revolutionized, for we will realize that in all things, Christ must have the first place. Whenever there's problem, I would even say, even in your marriage and mine. When I have a problem in my marriage, and I do have problems, I don't think I don't have problems, it's usually because, I would say always because, in some way, Christ was not the head. In this matter, in that matter, between my wife and I, somewhere Christ was put aside. Christ was put to number two. Somebody became number one. That's when the problem began in a marriage. In the family, the same. This whole society within this nation, today, all the craziness that's going on, because Christ is not on the throne. Somebody else is. If we would all honor Christ in our living, in our marriage, in our family, in our church, as number one, as the preeminent one, I tell you, that church, that family, that marriage will be in good order. It will not be in a state of collapse and confusion and division. D, the all-inclusive, extensive Christ is the centrality and universality, the center and circumference of God's economy. We mentioned that already. One, in God's economy, Christ is everything. Okay, so you cannot be more simple than that. In God's economy, let's say that together. In God's economy, Christ is everything. That's it. That's it. He is first, he is last. Then you say, how about me? Well, I would say there's no room for you. In the sense, no room for the natural you, the fallen you, the self you. No room. The Adamic you, there's no place. There's only place for Christ, and if Christ has gained us and possessed us and owned us to the degree he has, that part is what? Part of this new creation. It's part of God's economy.